Hi GURPREET, how are you? So this is going to be Is Your Ex Coming Back? It's just the name of the reading, that's why I'm saying that. I got your message, so don't worry. It doesn't affect the reading at all. It's still someone that you're not currently with, that you were before. I'll just let you know, you're going to hear my chair squeak a lot. I just move around a lot, that's why. And I don't like to sugarcoat or beat around the bush or I just like to cut through the bullshit and just get straight to the point, basically, is what I like to do. So we're just going to get right to it. I'm going to ask some questions, pull some cards, and we'll see what comes up. And I'm trying my best to say your names correctly, by the way. All right. How does Balkan feel about GURPREET? How does Balkan feel about GURPREET? Okay, so I feel like there are a lot of emotions towards you that he's ignoring, dealing with, coming up. Like, there is a lot of emotions regarding you that he hasn't dealt with. And now that you're in separation, he's realizing all these feelings and these things are coming up, and it's like almost overwhelming is what I'm getting. I think it's almost like he still doesn't know how he should feel towards you. It's like the truth about the way he feels about you is coming to light for himself, like his honest feelings. Okay, how does Balkan feel about the relationship to GURPREET? How does Balkan feel about the relationship to GURPREET? Okay, I feel like he has this sense of there being too much control in the relationship and not enough like freedom to be himself or expression to be himself, if that makes sense. I'm not too sure if it was specifically you who maybe put your foot down a lot and said no to many things, or tried to, sometimes we mean well and we try to say, I think you should do this, maybe you should do this, this would be better. And we mean well because we just want the other person to do the best that they can and be happy. But sometimes it's just not the right way to allow someone to live their authentic life, right? So what is the biggest obstacle in this connection? Oh, just dropped all my cards. All right, what is the biggest obstacle in this connection? What is the biggest obstacle in this connection? Okay, so in this connection, there's a lot of it's like having to say the last word or wanting to be right just because you don't want to be wrong. Like, there's a lot of pride and ego, and I think the biggest obstacle in this connection is being able to move past pride and ego, to put pride and ego aside and be vulnerable and open to each other. Especially with the moon here, it shows me that. That is definitely the biggest issue for you too, is being able to put pride and ego aside and say, you know what, I care about you more than my ego, I care about you more than my pride. And the way that the cards are laid out right now, it just doesn't look like that's something that is quite possible to happen necessarily because of the moon being here. There's potential for these feelings and for everything to be resolved, but I'm not sure that it can be. What is the most likely outcome for this connection? What is the most likely outcome for this connection? I feel like you are going to stay where you are. I don't think either of you is going to come back to each other, but I do think it's for the best, because if you're coming from a place of pride and ego, you're not necessarily happy. So even though they're, you know, he's your husband and you live somewhere else, right now for the thing about the most likely outcome is based off things right now, and energy is always changing, and we have sovereignty over our lives, and we have personal discernment, free will, so we can make our own choices. And as we make our own choices, it creates a butterfly effect and ripples into our future and changes the future. So what I'm trying to say is, as of right now, the way that the energy is going, I see you guys staying exactly as you are right now. I don't see any changes in the connection happening. What is some advice for GURPREET to follow that is in the highest interest of everyone involved? In the highest interest of everyone involved, what is some advice for GURPREET? I think that you might be too focused on things going on in your external and not paying enough attention to your internal, okay? So it's like you worry too much about what everyone else thinks, you worry too much what everyone else is feeling, and you don't take care of yourself enough. I think maybe it's time to take a little bit out of your day, or once a week or something, and just spend time with yourself. Like, I don't know if you have anyone that you take care of, or like in your household, or if there are, like, you have loved ones that you care for, but I feel like you put others ahead of yourself. Let me see here. I'm gonna pull, this is only supposed to be a 5-card reading, but I am pulling an extra card beside 5 of Wands for advice for you. I feel like you need to put your feelings first, like how you truly feel, and not so much attention to the way that others, not so much attention to the way that others want you to feel, or the way that others want you to think. Or even like societal norms, the way society sees you. I feel like you sometimes fall victim to the way that society thinks that you should be. Beside the 5 of Wands. The Hanged Man, yep. I feel like you have so much unlocked potential within yourself that you're so caught up in everything and everyone else and everything else, and it's like keeping you stuck. All right, I hope this gave you clarity. I hope everything makes sense. If I've said something and you're like, Alexa, what is that? Could you explain it to me more? I can do that for you. If there's any feedback or review you could leave on my Etsy, I would greatly appreciate that. And I'm really thankful that you trusted me to read for you. I'm really happy that I could do that. Take care.